Total Geek the First out there who told me that he couldn't hear. I appreciate it. It's hard to have a stream if you can't hear. What we're going to be doing is setting up this adventure, Half Men of Hirsute Hollow. Let's see who this is by. Oh yeah, written by Jason Hobbs. Yes, this is one of my adventures for Dungeon Crawl Classics, and this is what I decided to run for Cyclops Con for tomorrow. You know, it wasn't even my idea to do that. Julian Burnick, Lord Burnick of Spellburn fame and overall mean guy. I was going to run a patron game on the 18th tomorrow, but he said, hey, why don't you run a game for Cyclops Con? As he's always a huge supporter of Dungeon Crawl Classics and me, I thought I would do that. So we're doing it. Anyway, here we are. We're here in Roll20. This is just my games right here, and then it shows you all your games. This is kind of the splash page on Roll20 if you sign in usually. And then you can view all your games or whatever. So we are going to create a new game. The game name. I don't even remember what it's called. I wrote it myself. All right, so Half Men of Hirsute Hollow. All right. I don't even know if there is a Dungeon Crawl Classics sheet. I don't know. Yep, here we go. Dungeon Crawl Classics. Tabbed Classics. Which one do we want, guys? Well, we don't want Mutant Crawl Classics, but we want one of these two. What do you guys think? Which one? Tabbed or not? Tabbed sounds better. Let's just go with tabbed. Oh, we can see it. Nice. So I think that means that these things open or shut depending on what we want to look at. Let's look what the non-tabbed one looks like. Ooh, pretty basic. Maybe this would be easier. So this adventure was actually written to be between a couple other adventures. One part published by Goodman Games, being Sailors on a Starless Sea, and a third-party game or adventure called Well of Souls. So it's pretty easy to shift these around and make them whatever level you want, but I really liked the ending from Sailors. So, spoiler alert, you take off on a magic boat, most likely, and the boat is hurtling through underground river. So I thought it would be an interesting way. What do you do from that adventure? I had people ask that in the past, or it was a pretty common question. I think I'm going with the tabbed one. I don't know why. I usually like simple, but I think I'm going with this tabbed one. I'm going to have to make some characters, which I'll actually just get from Purple Sorcerer, the Purple Sorcerer website, and then I'll just input them into here. Pretty easy to do. So anyhow, I think this is ready. I'm ready. Let's create this bad boy. All right. We need a picture. And fortunately for us, my awesome artist who did a lot of art for the various zines, we're going to just put the cover art in for this adventure here on my on this. I don't know. I call a lot of things splash page apparently. Here we are, Hirsute Hollow. Let's add it. Did I drop it too soon? I don't know. Hey, Gaming and BS. What's up, my brother? Welcome to the chat. We're doing another Roll20 video here. I thought I would do some streaming for my GoFundMe page to try and get new equipment. Plus, I have an adventure that I'm supposed to be running tomorrow for a convention. If you want to know what the convention is, how about Cyclops Con? And this is taking a long time. Nice. There you go. Click that thing and you can go check it out, see what's happening. I tried to ask one of my buddies. Oh, you know what? This is a TIFF file. All right, we got to change these. I thought maybe this would take TIFFs, but apparently not. That's why it's not understanding here. So if you have TIFF files and you are trying to see get a JPEG, PNG, or GIF, what do you use? GIMP? I'm crazy. I normally, I am so old school. I'm just used to using um, I'm used to using I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Keep it rolling, brother. I am used to using Paint for all of these things. Isn't that weird? I feel like that's weird. So here we go. Here is the page. Oh, that's not what it's supposed to do. It's awesome art, but that's not what it's supposed to do. We got some problems with the old Roll20 going on here. Maybe if we choose a file, we'll go this way. You guys can look through all my awesome stuff on here if you can see it. I don't even know if you can see it, but so here we are. We're looking for this. All right, now we're getting some action. We're gonna have to do all those. All right, there we go. There's the image. Let's save it. Yeah, it's pretty wicked. It's pretty awesome. From my brain to Craig Brasco's pencil or mouse or whatever. I wonder if we can put a Dungeon Crawl Classics in here. Yeah, we can. We're playing some Dungeon Crawl Classics, boys. Let's launch this up. Dangerous Journey. What are you talking about, Gaming and BS? All right, here we are. Brand new campaign. You can see me in my took, as all my Canadian friends say. Yeah, that probably is a dangerous journey. Alrighty. So I always shut these things off because I don't like looking at myself. So I'm going to jump into my settings. Yeah, there we are. Video avatar size, names only. We're good to go, boys. I wonder if you can hear me on both this and that. Maybe so. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to broadcast anything. This is also something you can do when you run your games. So after you do that, you have to reconnect to Roll20. Eric Thomas Hunt, howdy to you, sir. Welcome to the channel. So like I was telling everyone, we're doing another Roll20 setup prep here for, and we'll just put Hobbs in there. I don't want people knowing what my first name is. That would ruin my reputation. Not really. So like always, I like to do a splash page here. So on this one, we're going to use Cyclops Con. So let me grab that. This is not my artwork, nor Brasco's. This looks like a Doug Kovacs to me. I don't even know if it's legal, but we're doing it anyway because it's their picture. I mean, for their convention. Are they going to sue me? I don't know. I doubt that. Doesn't seem likely. I probably need music again, don't I? You guys want some music? All right, that looks pretty good, right? We can leave the white backdrop this time because it'll just go in and people won't even know. Let's drop this into the map layer. All right, Cyclops Con. All right, there's a splash page. All right, so this is a very short adventure, so we don't have a lot that we got to worry about as far as this, as lots of different areas and all that. I'm just going to make one map and then we'll make some tokens, and that's all I'm going to do. So this would be a lot easier than Whitestone Tower. So I got to save them. I'm going to put the map in the in as a handout. but I think we want it to be bigger than what these guys are showing. And I'm going to make it into a nice looking one, although this is a very nice looking map. I'm not trying to say that it isn't, but we're going to make a sweet Gabriel Picard underground cave map, which you guys did not get a chance to see. All I did before was above ground stuff. So I'm going to change this to black. I'm going to go 50-50, which is pretty big. Still going to have grids and all that. I'm going to change the grid color to bright green, increase the opacity. And here we go. This is going to be the hollow map. All right, so who out there knows what hirsute means? I'm pretty sure it won't be gaming in BS, but maybe so. Eric Thomas Hunt probably will. All right, hirsute means hairy, and I have no idea how how or why I create. I don't. I mean, I know why now, but I don't remember the thought process that came around to writing this adventure. But that's what I named it. The half men were supposed to be something like men, barbarian types, and but there's a reason they're called half men, of course. And the hollow is just like another name for a cave or a valley or something like that. And then hirsute, hairy hollow, I think is what I'd called it at first, and then I changed it to hirsute because I love Hygaxian. I better get a drink of water. I like this for product placement. It's even the worst glass ever from the Gaming and BS podcast people. Year of the Kelly. All right, so I'm going to show you guys what map we're trying to look at. So what I'm going to do is make a make a handout. We'll just call it Master Map. I'm not going to put it in anyone's journal because I'm not going to show this to the players. Oops, I just tried to put the TIFF in there. That's not working. So I'm not going to show it to players. This is just for us as as I refer to it, so you guys can see what I'm trying to do. Man, I don't know. There we go. All right, so there's the map. This is a Brasco map. So this is not a very big area or anything like that. And I don't remember, this doesn't even say if it's 10 foot or what, but here is the map that came with the zine. Lovely, put in the back cover so it's not using up any space and you can easily refer to it. So as I was saying before, this adventure was written as a transition. So the transition from, you think it's 10 feet? That's awfully big, man. That'll be a huge cavern if we make it 10 feet. Oh, especially, you broke 10 miles. Nice. That would make it even bigger. Even bigger. Anyhow, this is the map that we're going to make. That's what one of our goals is today. All right, so what we need is some way to make this map. And where should we start? Probably at the beginning. So, like I was saying, this adventure opens. Hey, Thaddeus Moore. Thanks for the cheers, buddy. I really appreciate it. Welcome. We're making a map in Roll20, bud. Oh, I should say that I am running a GoFundMe for a better computer and sound setup, and I have a link down below this video that you're watching right now, and you can click on it, and you can donate or share or whatever you can, because this thing is not going to last. I can do these because it's not even this is super hot, but when I try to do 2 Roll20s and I try and run the game tomorrow, we'll see what happens. I don't know. That would suck if it didn't. Anyhow, so this adventure takes place in a cavern, and it starts with the characters being on a boat, a magic boat that has escaped from the adventure sailors on the Starless Sea. So we need to make a big cavern with a water on it. So this one is like, this says the 30 feet wide, which is probably decent for the size of boat they seem to be talking about in sailors. So that would mean if this was 30 feet wide, holy cow, guys, I gotta count up this map here. 33. So 330 feet. Yeah, we're not going to put, that would be 600 in some of these. There's no way there's 600 of these. This is only 50 wide, so we're going to make even this map be 5 foot a square, which I think works. I think that works fine. You guys want to see the map again? It always surprises me to have people do artwork for my stuff. It's always been a, I don't know, it's just a strange, strange thing. So maybe we should read what the description is. All right, author's note. Oh, hey, I wrote this. And I did some editing. So here's the credits on this zine here. A DCC adventure written by Jason Hobbs of hobbsandfriends.com. Artwork, layout, and cartography all by Craig Brasco. CraigBrasco.com or his Instagram or Gosin. So if you guys like the art from this and you have any interest in that, here is his Instagram. Ooh, I should make a command for that. Or CraigBrasco.com. Anyhow, and it was proofread and edited by Scott Hubbs, and it's compatible with the DCC RPG. So anyway, I already see some editing errors in this. All right, I originally concocted this adventure as an interim scenario between sailors on the starless sea and Well of Souls. The meet between two very fine pieces of bread. Yes, both of those adventures are considered funnels, but do not have to be. Well of Souls works very well as a first level adventure too. To fill this niche, I had it start in the underworld with some sort of sea vessel outlet, and it needed a hook for the Well of Souls. Namely the tablets you start that wonderful adventure with. One could easily plop this adventure anywhere. Halfmen of Hirsute Hollow. All right, so as I mentioned, the game starts with. Wow, this is a crazy writing. The game starts with a magical boat flying, not flying, but sailing or floating down a cavernous river. So just a river in a cavern, and we need them to end up at our place here. So these sandbars are here to crash them. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to start the adventure with them in the boat and have it crash. I have done that in the past when I ran this adventure as a funnel. There's your voice, bro. And that is going to sound so much better with the new sound interface. Smooth as caramel. What do you call the caramel stuff that you put on like ice cream? Caramel syrup. Yeah, caramel syrup. All right, so we're going to make this map, and it's going to look beautiful. All right, so if we make these 5 a square, so the river doesn't really need to be more than 15 or 20 feet wide. So I'm going to find whatever we're going to use here for my marketplace purchases. I've never really tried to do this. We may have to do some crazy arting because I don't know if I have an aquatic. I have like flooded caverns, but I didn't even think of that, how I'm going to make this water. So these are some cool ones, but these are already made, and I'm making my own. So what I'm want, ooh, see, they have some water things here that will work for us. Like I could make it out of this and just make it a little bigger. So I think that's gonna be the ticket right there. All right, so this thing, we can just start But see, it needs to be open. So we're going to start with the river, and then I will manipulate the map to open this cavern so we can see where this cavern is, where the sandbars are near the map. All right, so what we're going to start with, see, we can always, how large did Picard expect these to be? 7 by 4. So that's about 20 feet wide, right? So I always go 4, 5, 6, 7. Now see, that's only about 10 feet wide, so I don't, that's not going to be big enough for our purposes here. And we're going to use dynamic lighting, so we don't really have to use, worry about the extra stuff on the backside. So I'm going to move this down, and I am going to make this bigger. And it's not going to matter too much because we're just going to manipulate this anyhow to bust out part of this. So it's not like I'm doing a ton of connections to it. It would be nice to have it be a little ziggy, a little zigzaggy. And I'm not going to work too hard. See, this is the problem when you start messing with the different sizes. It's a little harder to match them up, but we can just kind of, and it's not perfect here, but it's not going to matter because the dynamic lighting is only going to allow so much of this, and we can drop this down to the map layer and we can see how wide we got it here. So yeah, we're good. We're about 20 feet wide. I think that boat could fit through here. And like I say, this doesn't look perfect, but I don't think it's going to matter. So I probably shouldn't have put that down there yet. But I can just go down here, grab it. Right now I'm switching between layers, paste it, then it's going to fit right there. And then we can, this is kind of lame, but this is what we're doing. Now we're going to advanced, flip it horizontally. So then now it's kind of making this area, and we can just put our cavern right there. All right, so let's bop these down into the map layer. All right, so now we got to try to figure out how to make a pretty large cavern out of this area here. This thing is pretty huge, but we don't have to follow this map exactly. We just need it to work for this adventure. And I should say that you can get this, a PDF of this adventure, free along with the other two zines. I have one of them here. Welcome to Bettleby Ridge. This is Hobbs and Friends zine number 2. And the first one is the excavation of the tomb of Lornanane. So you have an adventure, a kind of a mega, not a mega, like I called it a mini mega dungeon, a town, and now this is a DCC cave adventure. So you can get all those zines free if you donate to the GoFundMe. To upgrade the gamerhood, we should keep an eye on the GoFundMe here. See what happens so we can keep you posted. Whoa, something's already happened, guys. I'm pretty good at this. All right, so we Thaddeus Moore, who is in the chat, got us. He's selling his patches, and anyone who buys patches, he's donating it to the GoFundMe. And then we also William Dvorak. Thank you very much, William Dvorak, if you're out there. But looks like he made a donation as well. So that is fantastic, and I'm never, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm never disappointed, I guess, by the how nice people can be, and just how much that people do for things. So we don't even need a sandbar. We can just drop some rocks in here. We better zoom in a little bit. So what my plan, it's kind of a railroad, but this is a pretty short adventure. So man, it looks like this thing should be going like this. Yeah, that's right. All right, so we can make it a little smaller, hold down the alt, and drop it in. So we could probably do a sandbar, but I'm not exactly sure how we would do that. So I'm just going to make these instead. Just put some rocks in here, and then we'll put a busted boat on there, and then the players can go off into that. So the way this adventure, oh, see, look at this. Since I flipped that, it put the water different. See how like it's flossy over here and then not over here. I've never heard a player say anything about it, but it always annoys me. I wonder if we should fix it. That's one of the bad things about using someone else's art like that. So let's see. You know, we don't have to make it go down. We could actually flip it vertically now. So we'll jump down here. Oh, I got to get up here on the cursor. Let's flip this vertically as well. And now those things are on the same side. Of course, you can barely even tell with that, but we'll do it anyway. We'll flip this vertically. Oh, wait, now it's not. What the heck is going on here, people? Let's not flip it vertically anymore. Oh, I think what's wrong is I'm not good at I'm not good at geometry. I can't even tell which way this thing. Yeah, that looks about the best, I guess. All right, back to the map layer, or back to the token layer. This is where I usually build everything, and then I put it in the other later. So we can make people feel better by putting like a big crashing waterfall in over here. This is just for the real people who are. It doesn't even look very much like a crashing waterfall. Everything is bigger in this because I have made this so big. Oh, Captain Patriot, man. Thank you very much for showing up, and thank you for cheering. It's very appreciated. Thank you very much. All right, so back to the sandbar, or the rocks. So we could even add these things in here. This thing will be big. This will be something nice that we can crack the boat around. Oh, thank you, Thaddeus, for cheering. Looks like you're matching. Any cheering happening in the thread, the thing, Thaddeus is matching. Oh, goodness. I can't believe it. So I'm going to find I have a broken boat somewhere in here, and so I'm going to flip this horizontally. So we want the water streams to keep going the same way. All right, so this doesn't matter that much. This is a throwaway scene, really. So what I'm really going to have to work on is this here, of making this into this big cavern that's kind of has a sandy beach on it. So I don't even know how we're going to do it yet, but it might be a lot of me looking around at this trying to figure it out. I might be able to just drop I have like a sand. I have sandstone and pillars. Oh, gaming NBS, thank you. Oh, Thaddeus Moore will match any cheer. All right, Gaming VS, thank you, sir, for your cheers. I also saw that Sean P. Kelly subscribed to the channel. I appreciate that, Sean P. Kelly. All right, so I'm going to look in this sandstone, floors and pillars. So we got some empty sands here. The square is not going to be easy to do. So I may end up doing, I think you've seen me use, and if you've watched me do these before, I also have like a dirt paths that I can use. You know, perception is reality. So all we kind of have to do is make it look like it is that. So I don't really think that's going to work. So let's find, here we go, dirt paths. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, I also have a desert mapper here. This might be good. Oh goodness, let's build the hype. Let's build it. Hey, if anyone's out there watching, why don't you drop a line in the chat so we can see who's here, because that is always very fun and interesting. So I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do this cave. Hey Archie, I thought that's who you were. I remember you're Captain Patriot from the Hero Games forum. Yeah, I used to interact with you there, or at least read the thing that you were writing quite often. Quite often back in the days. I don't know how long ago that was. Oh, what's this? This says scrub grass. But if we drop this on here, does this look like a cave floor? I don't know. Let's take a look here. So it's okay for it to kind of come into the water a little bit. What do you guys think? You like that? Do we have a bigger one? Ooh, this might be bigger. Let's put this in here. What the heck do I have there? Is that something on my screen? Oh, sorry. It must be some food that splashed up there. Yes, I know you from Brian in the Park server. So thank you so much for joining us and participating in this crazy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it can be any size, but I don't think we want to make this too big, because if we get it too big, it's not going to look like individual pieces of sand, because now it's massive. As soon as we get a token out there, you'll see. So we're gonna have to keep this kind of small, and we're gonna have to just paste it a bunch. So wherever we want this to start, like I can probably get a cavern wall from something. I'm assuming I can. So I'm just gonna start dropping this everywhere, right along here to do this sandy beach. Yeah, you want me to rotate it some? So, um, like I said before, we're making a map here. So I'm just going to paste a bunch of these out. This is a big entrance chamber, and it has a couple things to look at. In the actual adventure, it also has a danger. So the half men, oops, I don't even remember how to do my own thing. Alt, the Alt button, my friends, is your friend. So we're just going to cover up these. And we might be able to make something to help. How wide is this in the dang book? We're huge here. So this thing is 20 squares wide, so 100 feet. All right, so where are we at here? Let's just do this. All right, right to there. So we're there already. So this map is probably too big. All right, that's all right though. We can always adjust it later. Yeah, how long have you been working on that character, Archie? Or Captain Patriot? All right, so this doesn't look perfect, but it's gonna have to do. It's not like this is a professional stream or anything. So let's see where we're gonna put this one. All right, so all along there. So we're going there. We're just going to kind of just round it off. I don't know how much I like this actually, because I didn't realize it had that shading there. I'm probably going to do it and then I'm going to be like, I don't like it. What do you guys think? Good enough for the girls we roll with, or should we make it, should we look for something that's more texturally consistent? Anybody have an opinion? I'm going to add some rocks and stuff in here too, so it's probably going to break it up some. Maybe it doesn't look too bad. I could make these bigger, like I mentioned. Oops, wrong button. Gaming and BS, thank you. Are those cheers? I'm not even sure what those are. Looks like you're number 3 in the server right now. So we're gonna have to find like a cave wall, and it doesn't have to be perfect either because we're gonna use dynamic lighting in order to block or show what people can see. So if I wanted to, I could just use dynamic lighting to block this off. Did you have to count those individually? Was that the trick, Gaming NBS? You had to make Thaddeus count them individually? Oh, no, it probably set up there. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. All right, so there's not going to be a cave wall in this desert thing, but I think this is going to look all right once we add, like I say, some rocks and stuff. So the concept is that the half men know the for, the half the half men know that there are giant like crabs that live underneath the sand in here, and so originally the premise was that the half men had built the sandbar in the middle of the river to make people crash so then they could take their stuff. So all that stuff is littered about this chamber to give the advent thank you guys, give the adventurers something to look at and to be motivated to go do almost right away. Hey, here we are. There's one exit but you have to climb up this sluice of mud because up farther is where like this river of mud kind of runs down the center of a cave and then deposits a bunch of dirt here in this chamber. But the half men use it, like I say, in order to like steal stuff from the people that crash here, letting the crab monsters kill them. And so they're lurking up in the tunnel up above for anyone who tries to climb the sluice. And we can use movement and maneuver. So if these characters have heavy armor, they're going to have some problems. So we could have some fatalities pretty soon. This is kind of a scary room. It's one of the most dangerous rooms in the adventure, I think. I don't know if it's the most dangerous, but we can add. Thank you so much, you guys. We can add some rocks in here to break it up, and I think. Yeah, we don't need it to be up that far. I think this will give people. Oops. This will give adventurers and players something that they can hide behind and interact with as well. So I want some boulders in there. There's a lot of different ones. So there's no reason not to just use some of these. It's different than many of my ones where I just copy and paste the same one over and over because I'm so mean. There's a nice one. People will hide behind that and then they'll get killed by the crabs. I mean, they won't get killed. I'm not purposely trying to kill people in this players in this game or characters, but it does seem to add excitement. I'm telling you. Oh goodness, so funny. All right, there's some clumps. Looks like we need to balance this off with something else over here. There we go. All right, so now let's find some cave walls. So we might have a vile tile. Why is this vile tile's tropical coast mapper way up here? I thought this was in alphabetical order. That would make way too much sense. All right, I don't see one there, but I do have a save versus cave. Cave construction. 2690 points. Yeah, what do we do with those points? Does anybody know? What do we want to do with points? I don't really know. Oh, you know what? I bet I can use these that are supposed to be cliffs as walls. Yeah, my I have some emotes on the way. CraigBrasco.com. So I think we can use these cliffs for exactly what we're talking about here. So let's bring this in, and it doesn't matter if you keep the whatever the suggested size are, because like I say, all this is going to get mostly edited when we do the dynamic lighting. So none of this has to be perfect. Slightly different color, but players never pay attention, trust me. Especially my last con game, I think that Sean P. Kelly was on his phone the whole time. Yeah, so I'm getting silly myself since obviously you won't be able to see this very well, and it doesn't really matter all that much. It sounded like a song. All right, we're just going to go right around here with the same one. We're going to have a cave coming up there, but you're going to have to climb this sluice to get there. And sometimes I can tell you the map doesn't look that great to us because we can see all the mistakes, but when the players are actually in it, they don't see that stuff. So you just have to keep that in mind when I design this rhyme. Never what? That you were on your phone? I wasn't watching the chat. I was working on this map. All right. So here we go. We made the map. So that wasn't as bad as it could have been. If you want to have a better idea what that'll look like, I almost never do the dynamic lighting until I finish the map. But so we need like some mud debris down here because, like I said, there's a sluice that drops like water and mud up here. So let's see what it says for 1A. Man, this was written really kind of dumb. I had no idea. All right, anyway, so the landing site, the narrow waterway you've been traversing for untold days and nights in this confounded darkness of the underrealm, seems to open around you. Phosphorescent lichen puts out a soft viridian light, bathing a beach area of white sand in bluish green hue. All right, so we could actually add this for the dynamic lighting. So we can just add some like moss or something. We'll put it on the rocks, and so then they don't have to have torches or something. What's this say if I actually do moss? Ooh, this looks cool. Here, this looks cool. I bet you we can just add this right to the. We'll just add it right to the rocks. So I can't get in there, so I'm going to make this into an image. Advanced is drawing. Now when I click on it, I can turn it. I'm just going to keep her going right here. You can definitely see, oh, it doesn't look like it. So I'm putting all the moss on one side of the rocks. What's this stuff? It's like an ugly rock. Look at that shit. This is a family show. Now, if I wanted to, I could add this to all the walls too. But it seems a little too much for me. I'm too lazy for that. Ooh, should we put a very tiny lichen on this lichen on the small one? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Oh no, what the heck we do here? Let's get that out of here. right, so we're just going to resize this to fit on a very tiny rock. Oh, that's so cute. All right, we got some lichen on all of them. You know what I did though? I just messed up, guys. All right, but I know what to do. So I was going to make these into dynamic lighting. I can't make it in a Viridian view or hue though, because I don't know how to add different color lighting, but I can make this into, see, now this is a new thing. Dynamic lighting gives the ability to see. All right, so normally I would have to go in there into the special places the way that it used to be. So this is something new. So I'm double clicking. Here's the basic token information. So this is really a drawing. So making it a token is kind of weird, but it doesn't. So before, if I wanted to make this be visual, I could have added how much light it emits, and then all players see light, and it's going to do it. But they've added this here. So I want, maybe we can just make this give off low light, and I can ask how much low light do I want it to be, and we can just go 100. And now, since I'm not going to put dynamic lighting on any of these, it'll fill this whole area with low light. Maybe I'll do it on the other side too, and then it'll kind of go into the tunnel, so it'll look cool. So I'm popping in there dynamic lighting. I'm learning as you guys are watching, so trust me. So emits low light, 100 feet. So I'm not going to make these have dynamic lighting lines, so that 100 feet should fill up this whole area. And if, just in case I want to do these, just jump down to the map area where they are, double click, and it'll open this edit token, night vision. Wait a second, low light, 100 feet. All right, so now when we turn dynamic lighting on, this whole area will be lit. And we can take it off for later in the room if we want to, but by putting it on the tokens, then it would be like it was a fire or anything else, except it's not really a fire, it's moss, but it doesn't matter. So objects. So I think it's time to put all this stuff on the map layer. Oh, look it. Same problem over here. Let's fix that. Advanced. Oh, I flipped it the wrong way. There we go. See how now the white flows better? I don't know. It's only something that you'd have to worry about if you're actually using a Gabriel Picard, because he does that in his waterways. It absolutely adds depth. So I can't say that I'm against it. It's just a pain when you're actually, it lessens your ability to change things. And we're all about our options, aren't we? Aren't we? Man, I don't know if I'm going to have enough room for this map, boys and girls. I'm going to have to get a little condensed, but that's okay. That's okay. It's all right. We don't have to follow this map exactly. All we need to do is we're just using it for inspiration. So to let those people know what we're talking about, well, let's go back to the master map. All right, so far we've done these, the riverway. Although, see, he's got the cave opening on the other side. I'm not doing that. We have the riverway here, and we have this large cavern with the sand. And now we're going to make this cave up here that has like the water going through. And then somehow we're going to try to add the appearance of like a mudslide. And the characters are going to have to climb up it to flee these crabs, because the crabs do not stop coming. They're really a methodology of forcing the players into that, and they're not going to come right away. So the way I have it written in here is the white sand beach. Between the Halfmen's sandbars and the flash flood runoff, a school of cave crabs have taken to lurking about this cavern cove. They swarm anything they sense moving about the beach. The blue-green hue of the moss nearly blinds the crabs, though. So if special care is taken, like a move silently check or not touching the beach, a PC may bypass this encounter. It is also reflected by the creature's attack and initiative rolls. So these crabs are badasses, but they're blinded by this light that I have in here. This is something that I like to do to make encounters dynamic. Is you could just have something. Giant crabs have been a staple in D&D since 1978. So I don't know how many times you fought giant crabs, but they suck in any system. So my idea is, like I say, these are really drivers. I don't really want the characters to fight them, and maybe they can figure out a way to bypass it if they don't step on the beach. I'm not sure how you would do that to get up there, but who knows what people are capable of. Like they're going to try and shoot a bow with a rope up there and then hand over hand up to the rope. I don't know. They could be try who knows what, and that's I don't try and solve the problems. All I try to do is create opportunities for shenanigans and then let them take care of it themselves. So there's a slimy scree here at 1C, so we need to add that. And I've also in the past like added some like beach and stuff, so they would have like trash and like pieces of lumber and stuff from like old boats. So the next thing we need to do is put a broken boat in here and maybe just like pieces of lumber and stuff that kind of shows this area filled with debris, and then let them make of that as they will. So this looks pretty darn good, actually. I just wonder if we should hide these little bits here. See, this stuff is just kind of creeping out. So we can jump into the map. Oh, got to get my cursor. We don't want to cover up anything that we've already done if possible. Yeah, this isn't a good one. I'm just going to not use that. I want to use one of these long ones. Here we go. I don't know where the long ones are, guys. Lost them. So we're just going to have to make do here. Or if we really wanted to, we might be able to just compress the shape of this thing. And then just make it work. I think that's fine. We can do this here. I forgot. I can put it right here. It doesn't matter if it blocks that. I'm being dumb because we can just put it to the back if it blocks it. We just put it to the back, just like that. All right, it's still kind of visible, but I'm sick of messing with it. We spent too much time here. At some point, you have to take even your flaws and errors and just let them go. Let them go. That's all you got to do. All right, so to let any new people who are in the chat room, if there are anyone, this is for CyclopsCon. So if you want to do exclamation point CyclopsCon, you can see a link to CyclopsCon. My event is tomorrow at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. maybe, I believe, Hobbs time, which is Central Daylight Time or Central Standard Time. All right, let's go to these dang tokens. Let's see what I got for boat. Alrighty, so I don't see like a broken boat or anything, but I know I have some broken boats in here. That's one of the problems that I always have with these map or token icons and stuff that are in Roll20. I have a hard time finding them in your actual marketplace purchases. they should be easy to find. You should be able to type whatever you want and be able to find. I don't like it. So um, I think there's like a beach one. You guys see a beach? So I'm, oh my gosh. Maybe it's time to find some music. Anyone have a vote for music? I don't even know how to play it on this dang thing. There we go. Found it. Found it. All right. Let me know what you guys think of that. Let me know what you guys think of that. It's not TJ Drennan, but that would be cool if it was. Here we are. All right. Lost y'all. All right. So what I'm looking for is a smashed boat. Definitely not there in the pirate ship set. I don't even know where I got some of these things. I know I have one because I used it in a different map in the past. Sea and island maps, that sounds promising. Nope. Square rigger. I wonder where I get these things. Oh my god, you guys, this is annoying as heck. Uh-oh. Jesus, when did that happen? When did I get muted, y'all? Oh, when I sneezed. Holy cow. That was pretty impressive, Arlen. Thank you for letting me know. You're paying attention out there. I like it. I'm impressed. So we could actually do the sluice here, and then the tunnel could still be up here. So we can just kind of add this up here. And then we can take this and see where it lines up here. And we're going to put the mud sluice here. That's still not enough room. We need to come back this way. We need more. We need some more space, people. So we should be able to just do this. Toe rate it a little bit. Drop it on this side. That looks good. Jump to the map. Like I said, this can flow wherever because this other stuff is going to be on top of it. These look different, but they're not different enough for people to have an issue with. It's hard for me. I should just finish up where we're at. Ooh, what's this? Water mapper. I forgot we had this. What if they have like a muddy area here? Ooh, this looks cool. Ooh, there's like some weird vegetation. That's going to be good for when we get to the hollow itself, because that's going to be a hard thing to draw. Very hard. I wonder if we can make this look like it's kind of a mud sluice or something. Is it sluice? Am I saying it wrong? Thaddeus, how would you say it? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'll copy this thing. We got to get a little up close and personal with this thing. I can't see. Let's just actually override this and see if we can just match up that thing there. Alright, so I'm just kind of following this line here. This isn't perfect, but I think we can muddy it up with dynamic lighting and some other stuff. So we just need some swampy area. We could use many of these different ones just to fill this in, because it'll kind of look like a swamp then. It would be nice if we had a transition, but that's not as close as I thought it was, is it? Let's get in here. Sometimes, oh, that isn't the token layer. Sometimes you just got to look a little closer than you had previously. There we go. Better. See, now I can just run the dynamic lighting around here and it'll look beautiful. Beautiful. You're just gonna have to trust me on this, people. So I'm going to add this mud stuff like this, and then we will find some way to transition it when we're using this stuff. If I just kind of, if I have an idea. That's what I'm looking for right there. So now it just kind of looks like it's not perfect, right? Anything perfect is going to stand out to people, in my opinion. So that's not what we're looking for here. Looks like it's kind of a little weird right there. It's okay to do that. It just adds some more depth and texture. So this kind of looks like what I was trying to do, but I need it to look like a rise somehow. So I think I have some, I think I have a way to do that. Oh, what's this? Yeah, see, these are just cliffs. I don't know how to make it work with the cliffs. But I think I have an idea. I think we can just add like some elevation looking lines on it, and that will help. It's going to have to work. Going to have to work. So we don't want damage decals. We want, I think I have a ruin builder. I think I know. A lot of times I just remember where things are and do things. So what I'm looking for is like an elevation line that's going to be a transparent, and it's going to show this. Oh, look at here's cave wall. Look at all these cave walls that we could have done. But they add the floor as well, so that doesn't really work. But anyway, so we also need it to be, I think it's time to add this stuff to the, so I don't forget. Let's put this on the map layer. Oh no, this looks like trouble. That's one of the problems when you put things to the back, is you actually have to go back and move stuff around. So I'm going to put that to the back. I'm going to grab the other area. Oh my goodness. What is going on? I've had this problem in the past too. Sometimes it does this, and then you have to move everything around, and it's...
Did you know that Spotify is available on Google Home?
There we go.
Now you can ask your favorite little speaker to turn itself into a big old dance party.
I think we're there.
Just by using your voice. It's
I think
like
we're there,
having
y'all.
a personal DJ on call. Ask Google to play your favorite playlist, give some love to your favorite new song, and turn up the volume of your favorite podcast.
I should go to the back.
Tap the banner to get started with Google Home. What's even better than having millions of songs at your fingertips for free?
How do you guys like this? The ads. Isn't that great?
In your earbuds too. On Spotify, you can listen to shows from the worlds of comedy, politics,
So if you guys want to see what this,
sports,
we need to see what it looks like yet, do we? So
The
I did
business
want to
of
find that, and I think I know where one is. I know there's something in this
Whatever your
Mad
niche,
Caps one.
Spotify has a podcast for you. Tap the banner to check out what's streaming right now.
So there's a lot of assets in
Thanks for
that.
listening to Spotify. No, really. You could have listened to the radio. You could have spun some vinyl. You could have played a cassette
So I'm
tape.
pretty sure there's some
You
elevation
could have
things in
listened
here.
to an 8-track tape. If you knew what an 8-track tape looked like. But you
So these are
listened to
ledges.
Spotify. Thanks for
So
that.
this is perfect.
And you still have hundreds more playlists to enjoy.
So let's take this, shrink her down a little bit. So it's kind of showing a ledge there. How does that look? What do you guys think? Should it be a flat ledge? Should it be down here farther? You can barely even see it in that, but where does it look better? 'Cause we want some of that watery crap to be up there. Nice, thank you. All right, good enough. I'll take your word for it, buddy. All right. So now this is pretty much done, I guess. This is kind of ugly, but it's not going to matter when we get into it. I say that a lot. For nothing else matters. All right, let's find some caves, y'all. So we got one. We need a straight with a junction, a T junction. We don't need a narrow tunnel. See, this one's almost overkill. There's so much stuff in here. And this really doesn't even need to be that big, because in the chamber that's up there, what is it? Ambush. Half men lurk in the northern tunnel. So basically it's just this to the knick-knack chamber. Yeah, there's a whole big area up here for them to be in, but we don't need that for this. In fact, it could just be like some kind of bulge that is like off of this tunnel. That's not really big enough though. I'd kind of like it just to go one way. See how this looks. Where's that? 2x2, 3, 4. All right. Good. Let's add another picture to the handouts. Now this is actually going to be for the carrot for the players, but I'll get that off situated soon. Sometimes I don't really like naming the NPCs or the monsters because I want the players to do that, because then they feel like they're doing more. And it's fun, right? It's fun. So I gotta change this half-man TIFF into a JPEG. This music blows. I don't even know where this music's coming from. So there you go. There's what the half men look like. Kind of hairy, right? Hirsute half men. So I'm also going to make a token. Once again, all awesome Craig Basco art. This is way better. Nothing against that guy. I don't know about the words though. I don't know what you guys think about these words. Let's listen to this for a while and see what we think. All right, so there's the bulge. That's all. That's where these dudes are going to be hanging out. Oh boy, time for whatchamajigger already. All right, so now what am I doing? So one cool thing that it does is it does keep open what I was working on previously. All right, so now we are looking for, we got the hollow. So we need a tunnel that's going to go up here for a little ways because there is an encounter up here in the sludge. This is also where I'm maybe going to introduce I'm also going to introduce the possibility for people. This is where, like, if anyone dies, I can maybe have someone here for them to pick up. This map is a flippin' mess. So the way this works is the cavern is kind of above, and then the ground, there's a hole up above, and when it floods into this large hollow, it's got like a really colorful and hairy hirsute type things. Hey, Captain Patriot, thanks for hanging out, buddy. So inside the hollow, there's like all this weird vegetation and these strange hairy insects, like villuous moths, woolly worms, different things like that. And so, and they can do some serious trouble to people who messes with them. If they don't mess with them at all, then there won't be that much problem. But in some ways, you maybe add some initiative or some motivation to mess with the creatures. So where this water runoff comes up into this tunnel, and that's what flows down the center of it and creates the mud slide down to the south that's at the northern part of the beach. So I need an offshoot tunnel, so I need a junction. What in the hell is this music? Did I pick this? Where are we at here? We're 6x9. I don't know if this is going to work because I kind of want it angling up. Maybe this will be better. So if I flip this vertical and then yeah, that's perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. spin her a little bit. This is just about perfect, so now I need an end. Tunnel ends are up here. There we go. Oh, those are big ends. I just want a tunnel end. This music sounds familiar. I don't know why. So this tunnel overlooks the hollow. Yeah, this map is not going to be big enough. We got to get this some gun bigger. We need some bigger height, boys. Maybe not too much. We could go for the width too. We do have to be concerned about people's bandwidth. Try to keep it decent. So added it to the bottom. So if that happens to me, what I do is I'm gonna have to put everything in the map layer, and then I go to the map layer, select it all, click and drag, and then I just pull it down. So I missed one thing, but if all the rest stays and none of my work was lost, it's a boom. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's put this right back where it was. There we go. Let's just grab this thing. Click away. Oh, it's not in the map layer. That's why I can't grab it. It's just this silly waterfall thing I was adding here. But in many ways, it's all silly, right? It's games, people. Games. So all we do is kind of have a small bulgy area down here. It's like a lower area. This is the area where they keep the stuff that they find, the knick-knack chambers of the people, right here. So I'm going to draw a little area there. I'm not going to draw it. So I'm talking about right here. So we just need it to come down and then join back up. And then this is going to be overlooking the large. So, you know, like down below is this massive hollow where the rain comes in and creates like these mushrooms and all this lush vegetation. And then there's like a little area up above that you can walk out on and see below. Like you see that in the movies all the time. Not as easy maybe to duplicate, but what I'm going to try to do is put a large cavern below it and just keep I'll stop the dynamic lighting. So I want that chamber to be right there. So it might be easiest to find that right now. So we need a big cave. And we're also going to tap into it from here down into the cave. So it's going to descend down into the cave. All right. So these are stairs here. So let's see if we can drop these directional stairs in. They might have just, yeah, I couldn't even see them. So I just kind of rolled over it. So it's too small. So I'm going to make it a drawing. we want it to kind of go the other way. So we are going to vertical. Doesn't really matter because it's going the other way, and that's all we needed. Let's enlarge this stairwell. I kind of like the idea of it kind of snaking. Like we can take off the vertical and go the other way. Hey! It kind of snakes down along this tunnel. Now that is cool. So now that looks like just rough-hewn stairs, which is exactly what we're looking for. Hobgoblins, gamer hoodies, my neighbors. So now I want a little chamber down here. And I should be able just to make, doesn't need to be very big. So let's find a small chamber here. And like if it has 3 exits, that's okay because we can just block one off. So this almost looks perfect. Probably bigger than it needs to be, but like I mentioned, we can block it off. Let's spin this. Looks a little big anyway. So I'm just lining up these wall lines. So I'm not sure they need to be directional like that. I think that takes away more than it adds. But we are going to put stairs there, but I'm going to block this wall off and then I'm going to let that go up that way. We're going to do it the same way we did the other area. We can add some other stuff in here if we want to. So we got stairs down, stairs up, and now we want to make this one meet up with this large area over here, and it can turn to get in there or whatever. That's okay. So we want a fairly large cavern, and it does have some exits off of it. One other. But I doubt that these exits are going to be where we need them to be. Like I say, it's okay for it to have exits off of it that we don't use because we can just block them. I think it's just mostly like a big round chamber. So we could use these to make a big chamber if we wanted to. This is cool. So we got some tunnel connectors here we can kind of use. I don't even use some of this stuff. This needs to be farther, I think. Otherwise, it's just too big. So we need some kind of connector. It's going to go from right there to there. I think it's just like a tight little turn. Pretty sure I saw some down here. So we're not going to be able to hide this stuff as well. Maybe this just doesn't work. Maybe it needs to go the other way now. So I can just keep this passage going underneath here. I want this chamber to be this big. We're not going to be able to see it because it's not there. So I just kind of want it to flatten out there. I don't want it to be this big. Too big? I don't know. I haven't decided. It doesn't really matter how big it is in some ways. Always grab the cave floor. What the heck? That thing's tiny. I need bigger than that. I ain't got that kind of time. go. So we've popped all these to the back now, I believe. What I was really trying to do is send them to the map layer. Ooh, I didn't think about that. All right, so that's not going to work. So what we're going to have to do is use the elevation pieces for this. So we're just going to use those elevation pieces to make this work. We're going to have to put a little bit of work into it, I think. But that's okay, because we enjoy it, it's fun, and it's something that we can do to take our mind off of what's going on. So we could use a tunnel connector. Closer look at this here and see what's going on. Maybe this will be better. For all I know, it's the exact same one. That would be like me. Alright, so what that's supposed to be is you're going to have this outlook over top of all of this vegetation that's down here. And it's open, so these walls won't have dynamic lighting here. The dynamic lighting will stop here and then open into the tunnel. Alright, so now we just have a few more rooms.
In a state of
Very small area
the best
left.
of humanity emerges. All of us are concerned, and all of us can make a difference.
And as soon as I add the dynamic lighting to this, you guys will have a much better idea of what this is going to look like.
That arise during an emergency response that government support alone cannot fund. Give now to the CDC Foundation at give4cdcf.org.
And I might be able to find just like a tunnel room up here that works, and I won't have to like build it like we built that. Although, I mean, building is cool because you're definitely making something that no one's ever seen before then. And something new, it's almost always,
and you can play it right now. But remember,
you know,
the playlist changes every week, so when
accepted
you hear something
and
that picks up your
people
ears,
are thankful
hit
for.
the heart button to easily find it again. Tap the banner to start discovering.
Two, three, four, five, six. So that's 6. That means this is 11. Maybe a little big for what I was looking for. I think it'll work though. So let's find some tunnels to match it up. then there's just a big finale at the end. I'm just gonna end it because there's like it's just an extra chamber that goes out past. It's like the small tunnel out. So I don't know if it needs. I can just maybe make a large tunnel at the end. So I need a junction. These are to make different size tunnels, and while it's fun to make people go single file and do things, it's kind of a pain. Gotta get a little bit closer. Now he's got to run this into that, and we'll be done. So I'm just gonna, this black stuff will disappear because I'm gonna just put it behind it when I get to that, when I put it back on the map layer. No problems. No problems. So we could just add a connector here down there. How big is this connector got to be? I'm not even paying attention to my things, breaking my own rules, people. That's way too big. If I would have actually just counted, I would be saving myself some problems here. It's still too big. How big is this dang thing supposed to be? Oh, it just says 4. Jeez, that's not a help, is it? I think we're getting a smaller one. Guess we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Let's just put it up against this thing and see when it fits. Alright, so now all we gotta do is make that line up. Which may or may not be easy. I know we can do it, but small little diagonal piece. But see, these are so freaking big. We need that big. All we really need is a straight tunnel, a very small tunnel piece, and we can just kind of piece it together from that by copying and paste it. There should just be like a little one, 4x2 right here. 2, 3, 4. These should all be 4 wide. Alright. They're not, apparently, but it's alright. This is what we do. Alright, there's that. I should just be able to put this in here and just kind of tweak it. Back. Look at that. I'm not sure how much better it could look, guys. Alright, Gaming and BS, thanks for hanging out, my man. I appreciate it. It's the music, isn't it? You'd stick around if the music wasn't so terrible. This thing is big and it kind of looks like a pair of testicles. Alright, though. That might be funny. All right. I'm gonna fix this right here like I did those. I don't really like fixing stuff in the map layer though, because as soon as you mess up, everything's messed up. There's no smudge tool or anything, but we won't need it. I've never had anyone say like the perfectionist map lowered my appreciation of it. So what do you think? All we need now is the ship, some crab tokens. We need to add some vegetation into the big hollow, and this thing might be ready. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty, sir. Is that better? I am a plus unicorns for everyone. I don't do the API stuff, so this is all I need to do. Alright, so let's do some dynamic lighting. That is awesome. I love dynamic lighting personally, so I am going into the dynamic lighting. I'm doing a polygon line, so I always change these colors so I can see. This is the fill. I don't even shade fill today, but this is what I always do, so that's how I'm doing it. So I'm just going to draw a line right across here. We can make this regular, but we're going to go with small. Keep it uptight. So this art is so good, I like to keep the art visible. So a lot of times let's get back a little bit. So we could make this go straight across. It's how much time do you want to spend on it? So I'm just rolling right along here with this red line. So I'm left clicking to start, quickly right clicking it to end, and then left clicking it in the same spot so there won't be any holes for the light to shine through. So they'll be able to move their tokens a little farther than they should probably be able to. I don't care that much. I have in the past, but I'd rather the cool look of the map come through, so I don't worry about it that much. So I'm just kind of following the map along. Oh, see, that's too far, so I'm just going to Control Z, but I didn't do it soon enough because I'd already right-clicked. So I'm just going to select tool, select that piece, delete it, back into the polygon line. All my settings are still there. So I'm just back at it, trying to click right on this line here. All right, I'm going to stay down here. I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. So it might be easier to start off with a thicker line so you can see what it does. Because it's kind of a brighter, and then when you right click it, it puts it in place and it fades a little bit. I'll make it even bigger. See how it's bright? And now it fades out, and then you can see the line, so now you know what's there. I've done it enough that I don't need it that big, and I actually like it to be smaller so it doesn't interfere as much. But whatever you feel comfortable with. It is kind of soothing. I agree with you. I don't know what 2-minute tabletop assets are. I pretty much just use Gabriel Picard and then whatever the search function gives me. I'm a big fan of Gabriel Picard's stuff. I've gone through and looked at other people too, but never given me what I wanted. This was pretty cool, making this chamber out of the assets from the construction cave. I may have done that once before, but it's been a while. This kind of looks interesting with the floor like that. It's like I don't know, I kind of like it. It's like there's a lip there or something. We could put a little bit of stairs there too if we wanted to. And it'll add to that look. And sometimes I'll do a lot with a map, sometimes I won't. It's all what you have time for. It's not the end-all be-all of the adventure for sure. That really comes from the fun that you have together. If you want to make sweet maps, this is a way to do it. cartoony style. See, I'm not a big cartoony style guy. So I'm going to add an exit out of this chamber. So I'm just going to skip that right there and leave a hole. I don't even have to put it in there because when they get to this room, it's the big finale of the adventure anyway. See, I make all my tokens pretty much from Token Maker. I had bought a bunch of tokens early, but then I realized I like to be able to just make tokens. Alright, we've been at this for just over 2 hours. So when I finish this dynamic lighting, I'm going to take a little bio break, get a glass of water, and we'll check to see how the GoFundMe is doing. Maybe send out some thank yous. And if you don't want to give them that much, you can actually take advantage of these relatively straight lines. Just pop it in there. It'll go much faster. It all depends on how much time you have. Like, I'll make these maps on the fly sometimes, and I don't have a lot of time, so there's going to be more room for error. This said it was metal. I want to know in what place this music is metal. Alright, unicorns for everyone. Thanks for stopping by, my man. And hey, be safe out there with those groceries. I'd say wear your mask. Well, this is the haul that I hadn't done. So I'm just going to do the dynamic lighting across here. All I'm going to do is add one of those. There's a couple things you can do. You can add like a pile of rocks. You can add Danheim. I don't know what that is, brother. You can put a wall in there, like I have been doing in the past. You can add, you know, like a pile of rocks. You can do all sorts of different things. You can add those stairs now while we're here. So they got quite a few of them. Oops. What we don't want to do is put them in the dynamic lighting area. So the dynamic lighting is complete. Oh! Alright, so there's some stairs down. This would be cool if we could add this one. These don't always work as well as I'd like them to, though. We're kind of walking around this. Just turn it just a bit. we like those stairs. I'll show you what these look like. We like these stairs better. At least it actually shows you kind of which direction you're going. Kind of like those. What do you guys think? There, so it shows you're kind of stepping down now, and that visibly looks like it. So we need some boulders, or we need a wall. We need something just like this one. Did I already put it in? Oh, I see. It didn't show up because it wasn't in the map layer. There we go. Now it'll show up in the dynamic lighting layer. Oh, or maybe I'm at the wrong spot. No, that's the right spot. I already did it. I got skills. They're multiplying. All right, so let's get a token out so you can see what this looks like. It's a token from my Kalmata game. All right, so let's take it into the entry chamber. All right, so I have to turn the dynamic lighting on in the map, which I don't usually have on while I'm making stuff because it makes it harder to see. It makes the whole room darker. So let's add the dynamic lighting down here. And I like it to be, I don't want global illumination. I only want it to enforce line of sight. I like it to restrict movement as well, so that means they can't like walk through where you have walls. Alright, so this is what it looks like. See how it's darker? But you can choose, if you haven't selected, Control L, and it'll show you what it looks like. Well, why can't we see anything? Well, because the dude doesn't, oh, he should be able to. What's happening? Something is wrong. So we have dynamic lighting on these tokens. So, oh, I know why it's not working. He has to have sight. Sometimes I forget people. Advanced has sight. Save changes. Control L. Oh, that's not it either. We might have some work to do. We gotta, you know what I probably didn't do? So it's not, I put low light on here, but it didn't save it. Oh, I maybe forgot to save changes. See, that's what happens when we try and do stuff a different way. So this is what I used to do. All players see light. Illumination is 100 feet, but it starts to get dim after 1 foot. So that's that. That's what it looks like for that. So you can see now that it's giving off some light, and if we Control L this guy, that's what it's going to look like. So it's giving light all the way up this hall, which probably shouldn't, because you know we have some guys lurking up there, but that's one of the problems. I can't really make a division there because I want them to be able to see up there. So I probably won't make that one then. I'll just make some of the other ones, and it's not that bright light, so they can light a torch if they so desire. So let's find one of these others. So that goes to show you I don't know how to use the all players see light. It's 100 feet. Light gets dim after 1 foot. So now we're seeing what the players would see. So now, if this guy was carrying a lantern, and there were people around him, we could say the lantern is 30 feet of view, and after 15 feet it gets dim. So we can see what he can see as the GM. If you want to see what we can see as the player, Control L. This is what the sluice is going to look like when they get up there. You can't really hardly even see that. I should almost make my own lines, but you click off of it at any time, you're just going to go back. So they can move all the way up to the edge of this light, and it's going to change what they can see by where they are. This is where I made up that wall. It looks a little jank just because the way I did the dynamic lighting, but whatever. So if you're actually up here, looks pretty cool, huh? You're down, so you'll see all, like, I'm going to add vegetation and stuff down here, I think. All right. So we can add some tokens. I thought I already made a token. Where are those guys? That's crazy. I never saved it. I made it, but I never saved it. Son of a biscuit. Man, is this music driving anyone out? It's driving me kind of crazy. So we'll put these guys on the GM layer because they really shouldn't be able to see up here anyway. I think I got some tokens in somewhere. Forlorn Shores, maybe. I know I got a giant spider in there, a giant crab in that game before. Oh, don't see it. Maybe we'll check. Kamata. kind of crappy though. Let's just look one up. Let's look one up. I'll put in giant crab D&D.
I can hear all the voices in the rain. Every song takes me to another place.
So I'm going to make this into a token, so the less background probably the better.
As my homeland's calling out to me. Can't let it go. It feels so close, like summer days. I drift away. Feel my homeland coming back. All the good times that we had. Clean as day like a still frame photograph. I can feel my homeland coming back.
I don't want to put that on the map layer. That's just dumb. I do want to copy, paste it, GM layer. All right, guys, we need that boat in there, but I couldn't find it, so I'm just going to skip it. I'm going to add the vegetation and stuff, but I think I'll save that for later. I just wanted you guys to see how I was going to make this map for this adventure tomorrow. So, check it out. I hope you guys have fun joining me on this new Roll20 adventure through Mr. Hobbs's Gamerhood. Maybe one last thing. Let's add another handout. You guys can see the big finale image. I'm a funny guy. All right, you guys. I'm at least gonna. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Does that look crazy or what? All right. You guys look at this while I take off for a second. I will be right back. All right, anyway, I'm back. I was muted again. I wanted to check some donations, and you can look at this beautiful Craig Brasco art. And we are $45 from halfway. It hasn't been quite 24 hours. I don't know if this stream helped at all, but we got a pretty big donation from Carl Rodriguez. Carl, thank you so much. I know you're probably not watching this, but I am going to thank everyone on Random Screed and the next Hobbs and Friends episode, which will be recorded live here on Sunday with Steve Grodzicki at 4:30 p.m. So coming up on the channel, we got Night Below Tonight. If you want to see, that will be on Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. Crystal Shard in the morning at 9 a.m. That'll also be on the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. And then we got the Hirsute Hollow Adventure for Cyclops Con. You guys want to see Cyclops Con? Just got to do exclamation point. There you go, boys. You can check that out. And like I say, I appreciate you guys being here. I got to work on these character sheets. I got to do some other stuff. But I got to take a break from this for a second, get some water. And I just wanted to thank you guys again for being here. Check out the GoFundMe. Click the tab. I appreciate it. There's donations. Become a subscriber. Do all those things. I appreciate it. If you're watching this video on YouTube, click subscribe. Hit the bell. Hit the bell so you notify when I put a new up there. Here is my, I don't even know what it is. It's Jason Hobbs, I believe. Anyhow, I'm rambling. Thanks you guys so much for joining me. I hope you all stop by tomorrow to watch this game go down, and you can see all this exciting stuff real time tomorrow. Thanks again, guys. This music, I am not a fan, I don't think. But this music, I am a fan of.
It's a beautiful day in the game, oh, a beautiful day for my gamers. Would you be one? Could you be one? Shout about thunder, but don't despair. This colony's breeding great robbers. Would you be one? Could you be one? If the native mortality rate works for you, for a few bucks a month you can sign up and have the Hobbs kill you. So let's make the most of another Sunday. Brew up some coffee and play it my way. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my gamers? Won't you be? Won't you please, please, won't you be my game?